ratios and rates. This is all going to be fairly familiar stuff for folks, I believe. Let's get a reader for this one. Fox, go read for me.
Ratios and rates are commonly used to state the relationship between two quantities. You may have heard an advertiser claim that 9 out of 10 dentists surveyed recommend a certain gum. Or you may have heard a weather reporter state that rain was falling at a rate of 3 inches per hour. The advertiser's claim is an example of a ratio. The weather reporter's statement is an example of a rate. In this collaborative, we will look at some of the ways ratios and rates are used.
Perfect, thank you. Ratios versus rates. Alex, go ahead and read.
What's the difference between a ratio and a rate? It's the units of measure. In a ratio, we compare like units of measure, while in a rate, we compare unlike units.
Go ahead and give me example 1.
Example 1. An advertisement for a mouthwash claims that 3 out of 5 dentists surveyed recommend the mouthwash. The phrase 3 out of 5 dentists is a way of indicating that the ratio is 3/5 and that dentists are being compared to dentists. In other words, 3 dentists out of 5 dentists or 3 dentists over 5 dentists. Yeah.
Keep going, one more, last line.
Because the units are the same, they can be divided out, yielding the ratio 3/5 in fraction form.
All right, so everyone on board? If it's same thing over same thing, dentist over dentist, the dentist, that you can they kind of cancel each other out, right? That's another form of 1, dentist over dentist, another form of 1 that goes away. So it's just 3/5. So ratios they have the same units, so they're just the numbers. Example 2. David, read example 2. Dieter.
Dieter loses 3 pounds in 2 weeks. The weight loss can be expressed as a
Ratio.
ratio of 3 pounds to 2 weeks, or 3 pounds over 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Because the units are different, they cannot be divided out. The ratio, 3 pounds over 2 weeks is a rate because the units are different.
Great. So rates will have different units, and it's going to be 3 pounds over 2 weeks. So over means divide by, right? You're going to divide these, and that's the rate. So typically our rates, we're going to want to keep that in as a whole number over another whole number. That's, you don't want decimals in your numerator or your denominator. So we're going to do a few of these. Exercises. Is this a ratio or a rate? So write down what you think it's, write down what it is, right? So you're going to do, well, I'll do the first one with you folks. So 168 over 4480. Is this going to be a ratio or a rate? Do they have the same terms or different terms?
Ratio.
Yeah, it's gonna be a ratio. They have the same terms. The dollar signs go away. Does everyone kind of see that? Now I need to write in lowest common form. So first I'm gonna do myself a big favor. I'm gonna multiply both sides by 100. Top and bottom by 100, so I have 168 over 4480. So then I get rid of the stupid decimals, because I hate the decimals. Now, what can go into 168 and 4480? Well, they're both even. So they both can be divisible by 2. Are they both divisible by 4? I don't know. Let me bust out my calculator and see. 168 divided by 4. Ooh, I get a whole number. How about 168 divided by 8? Well, I get a whole number there too. So now the 4480, let's see, is 4480 divisible by 80? By 8? It is. So I can rewrite this. If I divide both top and bottom by 8, see what you get. So 168 divided by 8 is 4480 divided by 8. And write those numbers in here instead. I'm going to do, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Divide by 8. Divide by gonna divide both top and bottom by 8. David, bust out your calculator, divide both the top and bottom by 8 and write down the new number. What did you get for the top number, David?
21.
1.
And then,
You divide both of those,
Fox, what did you get for the bottom number?
560.
560. Okay, so yeah, so now, well, 21 is 3 times 7, so see if you can divide 560 by 3.
No.
Yes.
No?
Yes, we can.
Oh, and if I divide by 3, I get 168.67. That's no good.
Oh, no, I divided by 7.
Okay, so then try dividing it by 7. Ooh, that worked out. So divide top and bottom by 7. And what do we get? 3 over 80. Done. All right, so everybody try number 2, 3, and 4. 3 and 4. In your groups. So like you said, this is going to be a rate because they have different terms. So you cannot get rid of the units, but you can reduce 7,500 and 42. So definitely both even. So maybe I'll do this. 42 is really, I can take out a 2 and I'm left with 21. What else can I take out?
You can take out 4.
I can't take out a 4.
Yeah, I did a 7.
Out of 42?
You can take out a 2.
Oh, out of 21, you take 3 and 7.
3 and 7. So see which of these are 7,500. See if it's divisible by 2, 3, and 7, and whichever ones it is. And divide those out. Eric says 6.
6, yeah. 6 works.
Yeah,
So that seems good. So let's
six
divide top
works.
and bottom by 6. So we're dividing by 6 over 6. And see what you get. David, what'd you get?
I haven't. Not yet.
Ryan, what'd you get?
1,250 over 7.
Over what?
7
Same.
7 what?
weeks.
Weeks. And what about the 1,250?
Dollars.
So don't forget, you have to include your units.
Well, that assumes you get an equal pay each 7 weeks.
What was that?
That's assuming it's
Right.
equal pay
Yeah,
each week.
yeah. But yeah, they're
It's
assuming
possible.
they're assuming it's
It's
the
always
same.
possible you can get more money per 7 weeks than the next. I had technicality.
Okay, so the next one. Is it gonna be a ratio or rate?
Great.
Great.
Rate. 295 miles per gallon, per is divide by, right? Per gallon. Well, definitely, both are divisible by 5.
Yeah.
Both are not divisible by 3. So I don't see how they're divisible by, why do I know they're divisible by 5?
Because they ended both.
Because they ended 5, yeah. Then in 5 is already you're divisible by 5. So everybody do that. Divide them by 5. What'd you all get?
59 miles over 3 minutes.
Don't forget your terms.
So on 4, to do 4, don't you have to like make them denominators equal? Right?
Oh, right.
Or something?
So this one is a little bit trickier. So we need to change this, first of all, is it gonna be ratio or rate?
Ratio.
Ratio, because they're both miles. And I need to change this to be, to be a mixed fraction. So a mixed fraction,
It is a mixed fraction.
sorry, to be a
Improper.
improper fraction, thank you. So how do I do that? We did this before, right, where we said 2 is really, if, here's 2 2/3 miles. Right, it's all the clear parts. So this is 2/3. I can make this into thirds and this into thirds. So this would be 3/3, that'd be 3/3, so altogether I have 8/3. The shortcut is 3 times 2 plus 2, so that's 3 times 2 plus 2/3. So that would be 8/3. This other one here would be 1 times 15 plus 13 fifteenths, so that'd be 28 fifteenths. Now, I'm going to show you a trick with you folks. So it's 8/3 divided by 28 fifteenths. Has anybody heard that saying, instead of dividing by a fraction, multiply by its reciprocal? What does that mean? Instead of dividing by, I'm dividing by a fraction. But the fraction I'm dividing by is 28/15. Everybody understand that?
Mhm.
Instead of dividing by that fraction, I'm going to multiply by its reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 28/15?
15/28.
15/28. So this is going to be the same thing as 8/3 multiplied by 15/28. And then we can reduce early a little bit. There's a little bit of reduction we can do. 3 and 15. I can take a 3 out of 3 and I get 1. Take a 3 out of 15 and I have 5. Has anybody done this before? Is that familiar at all?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, so you can do it across like that.
Yeah, well, because you're multiplying them. So really, let me step back a little bit and point out this is really the same thing as 8 times 15 over 3 times 28.
Mhm.
But if I factor them all out, I'll get 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5, and at the bottom I'll get 3 times 28 is 2 times 2 times 7. So I can find some things in common here. This is 2 over 2. This is another form of 1. That 3 over 3 is another form of 1. So now I'm left with, on the top, 2 times 2. Oh, I have another 2 times 2. Ooh, look at that.
Ooh.
I missed one. There we go. Yeah. 10 over 7. There. Good? Yeah, 2 times 5 over 7. Here, I'll show you what I mean, what I did. So we took 3 out of there, and then I'm going to take 4 out of here and 4 out of there. Okay. So let's move on to the next page. And I'll let you folks do these two. All right, so we'll take a look at these two. The first one, is it going to be a ratio or a rate?
Ratio.
Ratio. So 4 goals to 3 goals. So the goals cancel out and you're left with 4 to 3. Good? All right, next one, is it a ratio or a rate? Rate, 45 grams to 6 servings. It is a rate, so those do not cancel out. However, I can divide both top and bottom by 3. So I'll get 15 grams over 2 servings. Good? All right. Next, we're talking about unit rates. Unit rates are very, very straightforward. So unit rates are when you see regular rates should not have decimals in them. Unit rates are a special case. Unit rates have a denominator of 1. You see them a lot of times in grocery stores, where it'll say something like, like 13.67 cents per ounce or whatever it is. So it means you're just going to divide it. So miles per hour, so 65 miles per hour means we have 65 miles per 1 hour. $8.75 means you're making $8.75 per 1 hour. So you just divide them. It's like really, just use your calculator, divide them. It's super, super straightforward, super, super simple. So we're going to do these ones. Temperature rose 15 degrees in 6 hours. 15 degrees per 6 hours. Get out your calculators, divide them. What did you folks get? 2.5 degrees per hour. Is that everyone all right, that part? Do number 2, 3, 4, and then there's a couple on the back side as well. Two, three, four. Four finishes up on the back. All right, let's take a look at these. So let's see, 78 bushels for 12 trees. And David, you said you got 6.5
Yes.
bushels per tree?
Yep.
Per tree. Great, and then hummingbird, 5,400 beats per 60 seconds is 4,490 beats per second. Next one is a little bit more complicated. We've got to go from here to there. So the first one we have calories per serving. Calories is 525 calories per 2.5 servings. So for 1 serving, it would be, if you divide them, 210 calories per serving. The next one is 117.5 grams of fat per serving. So you end up with 7 grams of fat per serving. You can either write it as per serving like this, or you can do it divided by, either one's fine. Next one is 50 milligrams per 2.5 servings. So this would end up being 20 milligrams of sodium, of cholesterol per serving. And the last one is 1775 milligrams for 2.5 servings. So 710 milligrams of sodium per serving. And like I said, you can write it either way, it doesn't matter. Whether you write it this way, you write it this way, they're the same. Okay, so then last, unit price is the cost per item. So, so a lot of times that kind of helps, like per ounce or per napkin, things like that. So here, find out the unit price per 1 ounce bag. So price per ounce. I want to do that quickly. What's the price per ounce for each of these? So it's just a unit. Yeah. So set it up. 11 ounces, 230. So 232 per 11 ounce.
How do you know which one to put on top?
The money goes on top. It's per ounce. You want the price per cost per item. That's not your calculator. Dave, what'd you get for the first one?
No.
Yeah, you know what, don't ignore that, just give me a few cents, hundredth of a cent, so you keep going, give me like 4 decimal places, go ahead,
0.21,
keep going,
09.
2109?
Yep.
Yeah, so they mean, I ignore that nearest cent, I think that's ridiculous, okay. And then, Alex, what did you get for the second one?
I got 0.218.
2180?
7. 0.2187.
2187. Okay, so which one is a better price? Which one's a better buy? Which one's cheaper?
The 11 ounce bag.
Yep, the 11 ounce.
I did it wrong. Wait, so that 11 supposed to go on the bottom?
Yes, you want the price per ounce.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Money on top. All right, so same one here. Do the same thing. And just do cents. Just do 59 cents. It's just easier for 100 napkins. 93 cents for 180 napkins. That's not your calculators. Oh, what? Did it stop recording?
No, 1 point.
Yeah, I know. It's give me your answer. So what's the answer for the first one? Shania, what's the answer for the first one? Okay. 59 divided by 100?
0.0059.
0.0059?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah.
Just
Well, that's with the,
10.59.
you were doing 59 cents.
Yep. And then what's the other one?
I thought it was 10.
0051.
00516.
005166?
But you don't even take it out that far, right?
So which one's cheaper? 180 napkins. All right, great. Have a good weekend. I'll see you folks on Monday. Make sure you get that, study for the exam. Do the practice exam.
Yeah.